Hi, I'm Lindsey Horvath, Mayor of the City of West Hollywood.
Hi, my name is Laganja Estranja, and I am a female impersonator, choreographer, and cannabis activist.
Hi, my name is Chris McCarthy, and I'm the owner of One Fitness.
Voting is important to the LGBTQ community because it feels like the community's rights are on the line on every ballot. It's important for the community to stand up, to speak out, and make sure their voices are heard.
Absolutely. I feel like we have already bankrolled, or is it bankrolled, so many of the progress that we made as a community, and we've already lost so many of the things that we fought for. So I feel like it's super important that we vote this year to not only keep the things that we have done for our community, but to improve upon those.
Yeah, absolutely. See, last year I didn't even vote, and I was so uneducated. And now I've educated myself, and I see the importance 100% in the community, in the country, as itself as a whole. It's really amazing. It's important. Everyone's vote counts.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and I think what's alarming is that you're not alone in this. There are many queer people who did not vote in prior elections. In fact, we've seen a disproportionate amount of cisgendered votes in comparison to the LGBT vote.
Truth.
And I think that's why it's so important, especially as a drag queen, that I reach out to this community and say, we need your vote. We need you to show up to these polls, and we need to make sure that the queer voice is amplified.
Absolutely. And I know sometimes people feel like, what good can one vote do? But I think the first time I ran, I won by 3 votes. So those votes really make a difference. Everybody's vote counts. And it's not just about checking a box, it's about really knowing who's voting and having those conversations to make sure that the people who are running reflect your values and are creating the culture that you want to see in your community.
And I think it's all about that reflection. So if we're not showing up to the polls and we're not putting in our votes, how can we expect for our voices in our community to then see those changes happen? It really does start with us. It starts with one small movement. It makes one small movement makes a snowball effect, and that's how we get an avalanche of positivity.
Totally.
Is if everybody comes together and uses their voice.
I mean, the easiest way I like to say is that if you don't vote, that's a vote for the other side. As simple as it is. Vote. It's important.
Especially now with this, need to be on social media, that it's all about, these big gestures of support. But I really do think it starts with right at home, starting with the people around you, making sure that the people you're involved with not only love and support you, but are going to put their vote to show that.
I think it's also important to make a plan to vote. Statistics show us that if you make a plan, not just, I think I'm going to do this, or maybe I'm going to mail in my ballot, or maybe I'll vote this day in early voting, but making a very specific plan increases the chances that you're actually going to turn out to vote. So make a plan.
I'm a Capricorn. We are all about planning, and I think that's really what it is. If you don't practice what you preach, it's like I grew up in musical theater. So if you don't do,
you did,
I
me
did.
too.
So if you don't do what you're going to do in rehearsal, then how can you do it on stage?
Sure.
True.
So I think it's super important, not just putting in our calendars that we need to vote, but specifically figuring out what method you're going to do to vote this year.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yep.
I also think another great way to get people to vote, I have a lot of ideas.
I love it. Go for it. Write them down.
Is through social media. I am an influencer. That's what I do. And I've been so fortunate this year to partner with other companies, other brands, specifically the Florida Democrats, and make TikToks. I think so many people think of social media as demeaning or belittling, but there's really a chance here for us to use these platforms and create change. A 15-second TikTok dance could get one person to the poll. And that one person, like you said, could be the determining factor for our new leader.
I think you also have to meet people where they are. When I was collecting signatures for a ballot initiative, I once went to the bathroom in Revolver to collect signatures.
Well, I think we've all been to the bathroom in Revolver, so you're not alone on that one, Mayor.
That's so true. Well, in One Fitness, I teach the people how to train themselves, and with doing that, you have to stay accountable. And being accountable, especially in voting, is very, very important.
Yes, we have to hold not only each other accountable, but ourselves, first and foremost, accountable for voting.
Absolutely. And we also have to make sure that we're thinking about what's important to us when we go to vote. Because a lot of times, if you just think, it's this thing that I have to do, that's an obligation that you really don't care about, it's going to be easier for you to not do it.
That's
but when
very
you think
true.
about everything that's on the line, that's what's most important.
And nothing is sexier than voting. Okay, this
It's
isn't
true.
This isn't an obligation. This is a privilege, and using your privilege. Well, I mean, there's nothing sexier than that.
It's so true. I don't date people who don't vote. It's just how
Period.
it works.
Yes.
So, just saying.
Why do you think I started voting? I'm just kidding. Get out of here.
Now we know
No,
you're
no.
tired of being single. I like that.
There you go.
Hey,
there you
whatever
go.
it takes to get people up and out and voting. I think that's really what this is about. This is the most important election, at least in my life, that I've ever seen. Now, you know, I do get asked if I vote in drag, and I'm going to be honest, this year I kind of want to.
I think you should.
I'd like to vote as myself
Absolutely.
and then as Laganja, although I
Yeah.
know that's illegal, so I probably can't do that, but I wish that I could use my drag to get 2 votes in this year.
If you show up in drag, I'll be right there next to you.
You know
I'll
what?
be right
Hey,
there next to you.
if showing up in drag would encourage more constituents to vote, then yes, God, Mama, I'll do it.
Word. She's gonna show up in drag, and I'm gonna show up shirtless.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, now we're gonna get votes with that.
See, now we're telling everybody to mail in their ballots, to fill out their ballots and mail them in early. But if everybody knows that y'all are going to the polls, then I don't know. I think we're going to have some pretty long lines there. That's all
Well,
I'm
hey,
saying.
and
That's
just
all I'm
because
saying.
you mail in your vote doesn't mean it can't be sexy. I mean, add some
True.
art on that envelope,
Totally.
baby. Let people know. Let people know.
Yeah.
Be yourself and vote for what you feel is the right choice.
Totally.
So only 1 in 5 LGBT people are registered to vote. Can you believe it?
No way.
No, that blows my mind. I really can't. And I hope that people out there who are listening right now are not going to be one of those 4 people who are not voting.
True.
Because it's really, if we could even get that up to 2 out of 5, think about how much ground we would be able to cover.
And I know a lot of people have a lot of things to say on social media about what's going on in their community, in their country, maybe their home state, whatever's going on. So I know people have a lot to say, but taking what you're saying and putting it into action is exactly what you're going to do when you vote.
I mean,
so
in this country, you have freedom of speech, and so to be oppressed by that for so long, being LGBTQ, you can't subside to that. You have to speak out and you have to express yourself. And the vote is the easiest and the best way to do that. Happens once a year.
They're going to send a ballot to your house. It's not much easier than that. So
It comes
just
to you.
fill it out as soon as you get it, put it back in the mail. Or I know there are going to be ballot drop boxes throughout the county as well, so you can do that too. It's
Totally.
very easy.
That's right. Don't just be a keyboard warrior. Show up and show out.